Professor hitting you with that fatherhood stuff that's gonna be large. So I'm gonna tell y'all the real. So some of y'all soon to be dads are probably sitting there and your girlfriend comes out with that stick, after it's been soaking in Mother Nature juices, that's saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant." And you're probably like, what? Ladies and gentlemen, it's not what you see on the commercial where everybody is just all happy and be like, oh my God. But I'm going to express in this dad cipher about the real fears that dads have when they finally find out that they're going to become a dad for the first time. So I'm warning you, it's not what you see in the Hallmark movies. So check this out. For those who are new to the channel, the Dad Cipher is a hip hop guide to fatherhood. Specifically, I try to help fatherless fathers to through hip hop lyricism to heal from their childhood and fatherhood traumas, so they could be the best dads they could be. And so I'm going to start right from the essence. What is it like when you are first time dad? So go ahead and let's check this out. Here we go. So America, it's about time that you hear from a man the raw, uncut truth about what goes through our minds when women come out of that when a woman comes out of that bathroom with that pregnancy test on that stick and it was in the Mother Nature juices. For some, it is not what you see on the commercial. Are you serious? We're going to have a baby. And then you do all these sort of Hallmark hugs and that sort of thing. For some man, there is a fear that pops up out the sewers of our mind, like Pennywise the clown. And it says to us, are you ready to be a dad? Or am I ready to be a dad? Now, whether you are a struggling college student, a blue collar worker, or a professional, fatherhood is indeed the scariest hood. I'm going to repeat that. Fatherhood is indeed the scariest hood, especially if you grew up fatherless. How can you go to this destination of fatherhood without a GPS or a damn compass? I mean, for my OGs out there, it's like going on a trip using MapQuest. Remember MapQuest, y'all? I used to always get lost reading that. But that's what it's like when you're a fatherless dad, or you're a dad or you're about to become a dad for the first time. But luckily, Mississippi rapper Big K.R.I.T has a song called Generational Way Down on his 2022 Digital Roses Don't Die album. And it speaks about the fears many soon to be fathers experience. So I want y'all to sit back and listen to the opening hook, because man, this brother is hitting you with real facts. So check this out here. Here we go. Stop right there. My man said apples might fall from the trees, but what if it's a chip off the old block? What if I pass it down? So here it is that he's talking about. Here, the MC, like many fathers, have high aspirations for their babies. We all want our babies to be good seeds, good fruit. Even if you are a father who is well educated and has a good job and that sort of thing, many of us feel like we want to make sure that we leave something good for our kids. We want to leave a fortune. However, our biggest fears is sometimes passing down generational curses. Passing down generational curses. In fact, if you're a dad with a scarred past like myself, having your first child may trigger a fear of Will I pass down the generational trauma that I've received? And generational trauma is basically like a messed up family heirloom. It's like, will I pass down the bad stuff that's happened in my family that keeps repeating itself over and over and over again? So a lot of times when you're a first-time dad, you have those fears. So listen what Big K.R.I.T says about that. So let's get deeper into the song. Clouds where the sun can reach. What if he's a chip off the old block? What if I pass it down? Highs where the lows run deep. What if she's a chip off the old block? What if I pass it down? So, for those who couldn't hear that, it said clouds where the sun can't reach. What if he's a chip off the old block? What if I pass it down? How highs, but the lows run deep. What if she's a chip off the old block? As a child myself, I grew up with a lot of psychological trauma, y'all. I tell y'all all the time. And my biggest fear was that I would have a son who is weak. And it's a reason why, because I faced a lot of bullying at school, and I also faced a lot of bullying at home. I had a family member who was addicted to drugs, and his favorite pastime was saying, "How can I torture these little kids?" So I remember feeling so helpless and afraid that I encouraged my first son to show leadership and strength, but not to show any emotions. I basically was like, man up, don't feel this. I taught him how to build this wall so that no one can hurt him. But after getting my own therapy, I regret teaching my son not to express his emotions. New dads may have lived through physical, verbal, domestic abuse, incest, or molestation. So when they are seeing that pregnancy stick and they don't seem happy right away, it's not that this guy is a future deadbeat. What if he is having these thoughts that may terrify him? Like, do I have what it takes to be a good parent? And K.R.I.T talks about it. So let's listen to what he says here. Let's break this down. So here we go. Here we go. What if I ain't meant to be a parent? What if I'm a lost soul damaged? We got to stop right there. He said, what if I am not meant to be a parent? What if I'm a soul damaged? When I became a fatherless father at the age of 23, I was a lost soul. You know, I had to drink down this liquid courage of fatherhood. Like I mixed in a little bit of Heathcliff Huxtable from the Cosby Show. For those who too young to know what the Cosby Show is, well, you probably know him as Bill Cosby now. But think about Dre from Blackish. But in my mix, I would have Heathcliff Huxtable, James Evans from Good Times, with a dash of Uncle Phil, "Why don't he love me?" from Fresh Prince. And I would drink that into this smoothie. So as my son was growing up, my biggest fear was that he would find out that I was not perfect. I mean, I'm a man and I never learned how to ride a bike. I never learned how to fix a car. I didn't have all those manly things. And I saw myself as damaged. Many new dads may feel that their child might discover their vulnerabilities or their insecurities. You know, how can we as men be expected to show our kids our true self or weakness when the world tells us to put on a game face? We want to be our kids' superheroes. We don't want to show them our kryptonite. I shouldn't have said that. I hate DC. But we don't want to show them our weaknesses. Again, these are the unspoken fears many fathers face. So again, ladies, when you're walking out there with that pregnancy stick and you don't see that immediate happiness right away, Sometimes that's what we're feeling right now. So let's listen to what else K.R.I.T has to say. Let's break this down because the boy is dropping gems. Here we go. If I can slow down the throttle, what if I can put down the bottle? What if he said, what if I can't slow down the throttle? What if I can't put down the bottle? What if I'm gone and relapsed and my darker days come back? Here the lyrics, K.R.I.T speaks to soon-to-be fathers who may be struggling with addiction. Many of these fathers feel that they will pass down their history of substance abuse and damage their kids. As a child growing up, I witnessed firsthand the impact that drugs had on my family. I watched my grandmother, who raised me. I watched her give up a lot of money that we didn't have to protect a family member from catching a beat down from a drug dealer. I mean, I also watched that same family member who was addicted, like psychologically and verbally abuse his own children in front of me. It was some painful stuff. And as a teen, growing up in that situation where you're seeing people addicted to drugs and that sort of thing, I didn't need like the Dare puppy on the back of the milk box or Nancy Reagan to say no to drugs, like that would work. Or this is your brain on drugs. I didn't need that. Try growing up with a crackhead. It will let you know not to touch the stuff. However, some children of substance abusers fall into their parents' footsteps. It's like that old saying, it's a man has two sons. One son doesn't touch alcohol. One son becomes a stone alcoholic. They were both raised by the same alcoholic dad. In other words, we don't know how the trauma that's passed down will impact kids. Once again, ladies, if your man does not seem excited when you show that pregnancy test, it could be maybe these are some of the silent fears like, will I pass that down? Let's go further and see what else K.R.I.T says. Because, my boy is dropping gems, like I said. I'm gone and relapse, and my dark days come back, and all of my happy days don't last. And all of these things I somehow pass. I don't want to bring a life into a world that lies about the wrongs and rights and have to shield their eyes. I'm scared they'll see. I'm scared they'll plead. What if I love device? We break it off at night. My baby holds me tight. I have to say goodbye. I'm scared they'll see. I'm scared they'll plead. And he said, and all of our happy days don't last. What if our love divides and we break it off at 9? My baby holds me tight. I have to say goodbye. Whoa. Big K.R.I.T lyrics reveal some upcoming fathers' biggest fears. What if our romantic relationship don't work? How will that impact our father-child relationship? I'm going to just be real. Just because you have a child with somebody doesn't mean that you like or that love is going to last. Some of us, when we see that pregnancy test and we have fear, we're like, oh my God, I'm about to have a child with someone that maybe I don't even like. And now it's 18 to 20 years. And this is a healthy fear because historically, family and child support laws have been unfair to dads, especially if you're a dad of color. Many court judges have an unfair bias towards young fathers, especially if they produce kids in an unwed relationship. because everybody, well, most judges are old school. They want that nuclear family of a dad and a mom and a white picket fence. But sometimes that doesn't happen. But that's because that relationship doesn't work. Doesn't mean that a dad doesn't want a relationship with their child. However, unfortunately, and for some of you mothers out there, I want y'all to listen to this. Just because the man is broken up with you doesn't mean that he has broken up with his child. He wants to be in his child's life. But some mothers feel that because they could not keep the dad couldn't keep the romantic relationship going, that they have to now protect the child. And it's called maternal gatekeeping. It means that they will keep that child away from the father because they feel he's too incompetent, or the mother may believe I'm just a better biological parent because I gave birth to him and I should be the only one that's around him. And that disrupts the relationship. Again, these are fears that soon to be dads have nestled in their mind. So when they're not excited about, oh, baby, I had to look at those two lines, they're thinking to themselves, wow, what if this relationship don't work? So now I'm gonna fast forward to the end part of this song because I'm gonna get close to the end where he started really expressing more and more fears, and then I'm gonna hit you guys, especially you soon to be dads, with some big crit wisdom that's going to break down how you can feel empowered. So check this out. Like I said, this is some dope stuff. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Okay, here we go. Check this part out. It's dope right here. Man, he getting soulful. This that Andre 3000 type vibe. Y'all gotta feel it in your soul. Uh, and flames out. Say you say. Uh, All right, for those who can't see, I'm gonna read these lyrics here. He said, you say, why would I be your anchor and keep you weighed down, weighed down? You say, even if we are faithful, sometime love flames out. You say, why would I be your anchor and keep you weighed down? Here he begs the question, if baby girl that's holding that stick, if our romantic relationship does not work, should I stay for the sake of the kids? Many fathers ponder if the connection is not forever, ever, like Andre 3000, will I be able to have a good bond with my child? And that's scary because I'm a father that ended up with a divorce. I'm gonna tell you firsthand, man, the most painful thing I experienced was witnessing my little babies putting their clothes for the week in a little trash bag. And they go from one mom's house to my house and my house to mom's house. And all your kids want is just to be in one place, man. And that's hard. And so, again, some of our biggest fears as dads or becoming dads is that part. But check this out. Big K.R.I.T.'s ends the songs with giving us some encouragement. So I want to check this out, and I want y'all to just like hear what he says in forms of encouragement for soon to be dads. And then I'm gonna give you a little bit of encouragement. So check this out, how he ends this, yo. So here, check this out. He said, there is a God or Savior, and you are greater. Say you. The lyrics encourage new dads to not put faith in their own mortal strengths, but to rely on God. So, in other words, you don't have to be a perfect dad. If you're a soon to be father out there who's scared that you're not perfect, you don't have to be. You can rely on a higher power, God. For me, it's God, but you can rely on a higher power, because I want to let you know the fears that you have or anxiety that you have is real. But if you're a father and you're conscious of it, chances are you are hyper vigilant and self reflective enough to get the help you need to make sure you heal from those curses so you won't pass it down. And one thing that I say that he loves about that I love about this song, he repeats, say you. Now listen to this. And when he says there is our savior and you are greater, say you. What he's saying is you need to tell yourself, encourage yourself that you are going to be the best father that you can be. And that means that you have to manifest what you want to see. You don't have to fall victim to generational curses. So once again, this is my review of Big K.R.I.T's Generational Way Down. And if you like what I do, how I use hip hop lyrics to help fatherless fathers to heal or give advice so we can learn how to be better dads that produce productive citizens in this world. Click and subscribe to Dad Cypher. Leave your comments. If you're a seasoned dad out there, drop some words of wisdom for soon to be dads. If you're a soon to be dad and you have some questions about, what can I expect, or you got some fears, there is no dumb questions. Simply go to the Dad Cipher. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Drop your questions out there. I'm not a therapist or anything, but I do know narratives. I'm an English professor. So I read narratives and I can tell you some stories. And these stories are what you may need to do to change your story as a father. So this is the extra large professor, Dad Cypher. We out. One love. Peace. Why did I say we out? I mean, I'm just solo. I don't know what's going on. All right. How do I end this thing? And I can't figure. Oh, here we go. Bye now.